Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ike Love, creator and author of the blog, The Viable Alternative, which is an inspirational blog where I share the wisdom and insights gained along my path of becoming a greater, stronger version of myself. And if you want to read more of my blog and you're on YouTube, you can click under the window where it says description, and you'll see a link for www.theviablealternative.com. So today, and it's going to be quick because I have to make food at this late night, and I haven't eaten yet. Well, actually, I did have something to eat a little bit, but I want to make some food. So anyway, the title of today's blog is "Your Trials and Tribulations Prepare You for Your Purpose." And you notice a lot of my recent videos have been about trials and tribulations because I am going through them, and I know the best way to go through them is to teach others the wisdom and insights gained while in the midst of going through them. You know, they say the best way to learn something is to teach others that thing you're trying to learn or trying to master. So anyway, all right, so you're going through trials and tribulations. You know, maybe you're going through difficulty in a relationship, you're going through money issues, you may be having some health issues, you may be having some certain afflictions or certain challenges with I don't know, just life in general. Things are not easy. And you're praying and praying and praying for them to disappear and they're not going anywhere. And you're frustrated. You're saying to yourself, why me? Why is God not listening to me? Why does God hate me? You know, why is he punishing me? And things like that. So I want to let you know that there are certain things that you can only learn by going through trial and tribulation. You know, a lot of times, we do not learn lessons when things are pleasurable. You know, we don't get things through our thick skull when things are easy. In some cases requires a trial and tribulation to ingrain in us the lesson that we need to learn. Think about if you are taking self-defense like boxing or some type of kung fu, and which requires you to have a guard, and a guard so that if you are in a fight, you do not get hit in the face. Your fist protects you, your guard protects you from getting hit. But during training, you have a tendency to drop one of your hands, which leads and your coach or your trainer or your sensei or sifu tells you to not to drop your hand because you're going to get hit. But, lo and behold, every single time when you're in training and sparring, you're hitting, you keep on dropping your hand. So finally it gets to sparring now. And you bring in that sparring session your tendency to drop your hand. And one day you get clocked and you get knocked out, or you get a concussion, you get knocked, you get thrown off for like a couple of seconds. Then you know it right then and there. Wow, I should have dropped my hand. I don't want that to happen to me again. And so now, through that lesson, you now will want to keep your hands up. And maybe through a course of time, you get very well known for your strong defense, your very viable, effective defense. It's through that hit, that strong hit that you got, that helps you now to keep your hands up when you are sparring or fighting, right? It took a trial by fire for you to be able to get the lesson. When we are usually going through something, it's God's way of holding us through the fire so that we become stronger, and we withhold and withstand future situations that we're going to have to deal with. Had we not gone through that trial or tribulation, we would not have been strong enough from that fire we were held over to deal with the situation that we have to deal with in regards to the purpose we have in this world. It's often said, I heard people say that, leaders and stuff like that they do not trust anybody who has not been through anything. Because they've not been through anything, they do not have the character or the perseverance or the strength to be a strong partner or associate or team member. It's through those people who've been through something that you can see through their eyes and their energy that you can trust them, right? Oftentimes when we learn things, for instance, now I'm reading It's gonna be too much work. I'm gonna let me get in my bag a book I'm reading right now. Oh good lord. I'm reading this book, Nelson Mandela. And this book is close to 600 pages. Why the hell was this man able to write 600 pages in this book that obviously and undoubtedly has impacted the lives of millions of people who've read this book? Because the man was in freaking prison for 27 years. And before that, he was fighting a freedom struggle. Was probably arrested many times, fighting a freedom struggle against a brutal white supremacist regime that was oppressing his people. Anybody who's gone through all that is going to have some ish to say, right? And it's through that he's able to impact people. It's through his trials and tribulations, what he's been through, that he's able to have an effect on people, and people trust him with what he had to say. If this guy had not been in prison 27 years, if this guy lived in the lap of luxury for his entire life, and he went to speak about how it is to be strong and everything, people would be like, who the hell is this guy? This guy had a comfortable life. How the hell does he have to teach me? And you'll see it in his energy, in his face, that you will not be able to trust him. But somebody who's been through something, somebody has been through trials and tribulations, somebody has been through the fire, has been through the fire in such an extent that you just automatically going to trust and believe his words, and his words are going to impact you because he's been through it. You can feel in his energy. Like, he doesn't have to talk about being that person because he is that person. He doesn't have to talk strong. He doesn't have to talk powerfully. He doesn't have to talk in a way that commands respect because, frankly speaking, he doesn't have to talk to convince you. Who he is convinces you. His whole entire embodiment is one that can convince you that you should listen to him because he's been through it, right? So if you're going through something now, it is prepare you for the purpose you have in your life. It's prepare you to impact the people, the millions of people that God will send you to lead. It is to prepare you for to be a leader. It is prepare you to have it is prepare you for the work you have to do. And you will not get it in any other way but through your trial and tribulation. Sure, you're going to get some lessons that you don't necessarily have to go through anything, but some of the lessons we, again, have to experience for us to learn. It requires the experience for us to learn what we have to do to be the person we need to be to have the impact we're meant to have. So real quickly before I go, I remember I have a friend, a very good friend of mine, and I remember at the time I ran to him in the gym, which was years ago. He was just kind of an acquaintance. I see him, we say what's up, we're cool one another, and whatever. So one evening I was in the gym and we got to talking, and he was in school, and I could tell in the look in his face he really did not want to be in school. I think he said he had like 3 years, he had been 3 years, and he was taking some type of major or whatever. And I asked him, did you like doing it? He's like, not really, And then I said to him, well, what would you really rather be doing? He's like, oh man, his face lit up. I'd rather be acting and writing and directing movies and plays and stuff like that, So I was asking you, well, do you plan to do anything with the major of what you're taking in school, your course of study? He's like, no, it's just for my family. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing in school, wasting your life, if you don't plan on doing what you're studying with at school anyway? And I said, yo, dude, please do not tell me that this is because you want to have something to fall back on. Because if you have something to fall back on, you're planning to fail in the actual endeavor that's on your heart. So I was like, dude, drop out of school. And I told him my message, and I completely went to work out. And he came up to me several times while I was working out to ask me more questions about what I said to him, and I gave him my answers. And after I finished working out, pieced him out and left the gym. Well, like about maybe 6 months later, I was walking in the city. I was walking in Union Square. I remember I was walking in Union Square. I got let out of work early because I think we had training for something, whatever. It was one of these rinky-dink BS jobs, which was a trial and tribulation of its own. And as I was walking, I hear a voice go, yo! And I turn around, and it's that dude. And he's like, yo, man, I was just talking about you, man, to a friend of mine who's going through something. And he's like, yo, man, yo, don't you know that the day after you spoke to me in the gym, I dropped out of school, man. And now I've written like 3 screenplays, man. I'm like on fire in my acting career. And he said a bunch of other stuff he's doing. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And he's like, yeah, you know, people have said stuff to me before, but there was something about the way you said, you had a look in your eyes. And I was like, oh, dude, I've been through it. I've been through the disillusionment of doing everything I was told to do in life to become successful and getting to that place and being completely and thoroughly miserable and empty. And he's like, yeah, there's just something about the look in your eyes. And again, I was able to impact that dude because of what I had been through. It was because of the trials and tribulations of being disillusioned. And had I not gone through it, I probably would have been like everybody else who was giving him advice that he would have heard but not really listened or not really heard. I embodied that lesson that he needed to hear or learn. All right. And it was me going through what I had gone through to get that lesson. Also, as I mentioned past, I've gone through, I had a period of 9 years of literal spiritual hell where I did not know who I was. I couldn't be spontaneous. I was constantly trapped in my head. And, you know, by the grace of God, I didn't lose my mind going through that. I did not have a nervous breakdown. And I was delivered from all that back in 2009 and then had another more years of more cleansing. Well, don't you know that I can look back at all those years now when I was praying for some type of respite from what I had gone through and I didn't get it, that it made me into the man I am now. The blogs I write, the videos I do, and the book that I've just finished completing, all were due to what I had been through. You know, were all due to what I've been through. I was able to write that book and write the lessons and, you know, cement the lessons that I share in the book through my personal experiences. And I had not had them, my book would have been lacking substance and people would have been like, you know, they wouldn't have listened to it. They wouldn't have had any effect on them. So to tie everything up, if you're going through something, cheer up. I don't know, pray and just trust that you're being prepared to go through something. You're not getting the answer to your prayer now because you're not meant to be delivered from it. Compared to you're actually meant to go through it. And so you just have to trust God to walk with you through the fire until you get to the other end, a totally transformed person who's now able to execute the purpose through your experience. And I know it's not easy. I'm going through it too. It's hard. But just know there's a method to the madness. Even if it takes a long time, there's something you prepare for. And I mean, don't even think about how long it's going to take because it's going to suck. If you had told me 2001, it's going to take 8 years for me to get a deliverance, I probably would have jumped out of a window because, I mean, it was hell. You know, I would have jumped off a bridge. But it prepared me to the person I am and was meant to be. There are probably lessons now that or things I'm meant to do that I can look back and be like, wow, I was able to do this because of this and this and this I've been through. 2013 was another incredibly hard year, but it led me to going to therapy. And had I gone through what I got through 2013, I would not have gone to therapy. And can I tell you, from that experience and the now almost 4 years of therapy, I would say that I wrote two-thirds of the book I recently finished. 2/3 of the almost 80,000 word book was because of the trials and tribulations I learned from 2013, which led me to go into therapy. So cheer up, strengthen yourself up. And there is a reason why you're going through what you're going through. All right. So I hope all this helps. If you want to read more on my blog, go to www.theviablealternative.com. If you want to follow me, or no, not if you want to, follow me on Twitter, damn it. I update my Twitter just about every day. My Twitter screen name is theviablealt. If you like what I had to say, please click on like. Please leave a nice, warm, fuzzy comment. It helps my self-esteem. And what else? Yeah, share this video and also subscribe. Anyway, I gotta go. Take care. God bless and peace.